Hello, hello. Good evening. It's almost 5 o'clock here on the East Coast, and I wanted to jump on a little early, make sure all my tech is working, and ask you guys to share this live with some of your friends and family who we'll be able to grab some nuggets from this information that we're going to go over today. So, got another minute or so before 5 o'clock. And if you are seeing me well, if you are hearing me well, just jot, I hear you in the Facebook chat so that I can know that, yep, it's working. You can hear me well, you can see me well. You see my slide pretty good. So let me know that you are here. I'm going to pull up on my phone so that I can be sure that things are working well as on this end. Awesome. Thanks, Cynthia. Thanks for letting me know you hear me well. And thanks for joining me today. We're going to be talking about FHA loans, but I'm not going to steal that thunder. It is 5 o'clock. Welcome, welcome to Wealth and Wines, a real estate experience with Gersha Porter. And yes, I am Gersha Porter. I am the CEO of Porter Premier Homes, a real estate team here in the Baltimore metropolitan area. I am affiliated with Cummings and Company Realtors. And I eliminate confusion for buyers by giving them key strategies to unlock resources to buy their dream home. And you can search for your next home at porterpremierhomes.com. So today, this is, I think, the third Wealth and Wines segment in our series. And I really do appreciate all the positive feedback that I've gotten via text and phone calls and messages encouraging me to continue on with my Wealth and Wines series. So thank you so much for supporting me in this new venture that I have. So before we get into the real estate experience, I want to talk a little bit about wines and the wine that we have today. I actually have the bottle here. Let me see. It's going to show up. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see this. The bottle that I have today, this is a rosé, and the brand is Wattle Creek Winery. And you might be able to see there some really cool butterflies, right? So it's happy hour. I hope you have your glass with you. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what is in my glass. As you can see, I have a salmon colored cocktail. This is a rosé, the bottle that I showed you, and I'm going to go ahead and switch so that you can learn a little bit about this particular wine. This is a 2019 California rosé. It is a beautiful salmon color, and it actually smells amazing. You smell strawberries, red cherries, and some rose petals. So most rosés will give you that smell and that aroma. So we have a couple of different grapes, a Pinot Noir grape and a Zinfandel that goes into making this amazing rosé. And this pairs very well with rosemary chicken, mild cheeses, some butter sauces. And those of you who brunch a lot, and even though you may not be going out to brunch, if you choose to have some brunching at home, this will be a wonderful pairing with your brunch dishes. So, as you know, I do have a website, wealthandwines.com, where if you were interested in trying any of the featured wines, and today's featured wine is Wattle Creek Winery. It is a 2019 rosé, and it is harvested in a very sustainable farm, a couple different farms in sunny California. So, cheers. And if you have something in your glass as you join us for Wealth and Wines, a real estate experience, I'm going to encourage you to sip along with me while we learn. Okay. So if you have any questions about this particular rosé, definitely reach out to me. You can learn a lot on the website, Wealth and Wines, that's with an E.com. Okay. So let us get into the topic today. The topic that we will be covering today is all about 5 reasons to buy a home with an FHA loan. So you may be familiar here in Maryland, and real estate is different throughout the United States. So here in Maryland, realtors do not originate mortgages. So we're either realtors or there is a mortgage lender. In other states, there are realtors who actually originate and serve as mortgage lenders, but not here in Maryland. So we stay in our lane as realtors, but most of us are very, very knowledgeable about different types of loans, and we need to be. Although we partner with lenders throughout the process and our buyers are approved by lenders, we need to be just as knowledgeable so we can provide that information to our clients. And that's one of the things that I work with a lot of my buyers prior to them getting ready to go out and shop for their dream home, is to make sure that we know exactly the type of loan that they qualify for and some of the nuances in terms of what you can and cannot do with an FHA loan. And just so you know, the other 2 most popular types of loans are conventional and VA, and we'll talk about those in another session of Wealth and Wines, a real estate experience. So let's talk about the 5 reasons to buy a home with an FHA loan. So the first reason that is really important to be able to consider an FHA loan, there are lots of buyers today, they don't have stellar credit. They have a variety of blemishes. And one of the things that affects your credit or your borrowing history is your credit score. So I remember when the pandemic hit, maybe around April, May, there were a lot of news articles going around talking about the fact that the credit minimum for FHA loans was going up. Now, it was going up for certain lenders. So FHA is the Federal Housing Administration. They do not directly lend the money. They lend money through mortgage companies or mortgage lenders. So I'll just throw out some big names. If you bank right now at Bank of America or Wells Fargo or State Employee Credit Union, all of those entities have the ability to lend an FHA loan to a buyer. So you don't actually go to the FHA, you go to a mortgage lender, and they have products that they can sell, they can offer you, and one of them is the FHA. So the number one reason in which you might want to consider FHA is because they're going to accept credit scores possibly as low as a 500. However, there's a caveat, and that's why I wanted to put it right here. Your down payment could be 10% or more. So I like to do easy math, even though I have a calculator with me here in case somebody asks a question that I need to do a quick calculation. If you were to buy a $100,000 house, you would then need $10,000 down. So that is significant compared to a borrower or a buyer who had a higher credit score, let's say a 610, and they qualify for an FHA mortgage, they would only have to put 3.5% down. So that would be $3,500. So you see, it's more than twice the amount of down payment, twice the amount of cash that you would need as your down payment. But sometimes there are buyers who have access to cash. They may have come across an inheritance. They may have had some kind of settlement, and they're in a position to make a much bigger down payment. So number one reason that you may want to move ahead with an FHA loan to purchase your home is that FHA will accept credit scores as low as 500 with a down payment of 10% or more. Okay, so that is the first reason. I'm going to take a peek and see if we have any questions. Thanks so much, Steph, for dropping that amazing link to our Boissé Wines collection. Thank you so much. So the second reason that you might want to consider purchasing a home with an FHA loan is that you will need at least a 580 score to make the minimum down payment of 3.5%. So today you might say, well, I have no idea what my credit score is. So depending on who you bank with, a lot of banks now are giving you your credit score once a month. A lot of credit cards are giving you your bank score once a month. I'm sorry, your credit score once a month. So I want to just make sure that you're aware when you do read those reports from your credit card or your bank statement, make sure that they are giving you information from 2 to 3 of those credit bureaus, because when a mortgage lender pulls your credit, they are looking at all 3 credit bureaus, and the middle score is the score they're going to use when we look at these kinds of guidelines for what makes you eligible for a certain type of mortgage. So if your tri-merged credit score, which is going to be Experian, Equifax, and I'm drawing a blank, if all 3 of those are pulled and you have a 600, a 650, and a 680, 650 is the credit score that the lender will use. They use the middle score, the middle number, okay? So the number 2 reason is that if you have at least a 580 credit score, you would be able to make that minimum down payment of 3.5%. So when you know what your credit score is, and the mortgage lender will help you with that, you will be able to say, wow, okay, I can purchase a home today with only 3.5% down. So I'm going to ask you guys if you can let me know, what do you think the maximum purchase price is on an FHA loan? What is the ceiling? What is the most, what is the highest purchase price that you are able to buy a house with an FHA loan? Just drop it in the chat. Let me know. Don't forget, let StreamYard catch you. Please click that. StreamYard is going to be able so that I can put your comments on the screen. I appreciate it. What do you think is the maximum amount in Baltimore City and Baltimore County, because it does vary by location, what the maximum purchase price would be with an FHA loan? Drop it in the chat. Let me see. Let me see. I'm looking at another device as well. Anybody have any ideas about what that maximum purchase price could be? Is it in the 300s? Is it in the 400s? What might that be? Drop it in the chat. I'm not seeing anybody write any comments yet. But, okay, Stephanie, 300,000. Anybody else have any idea of what the maximum amount in terms of a purchase price that you could purchase a home in Baltimore City and Baltimore County using an FHA loan? Well, the answer is $520,950. Yeah, it's over 500,000. So that is a lot of purchasing power. So if you are interested in purchasing a home in the 300s and the 400s, all the way up to $520,950, you can use an FHA loan and only put 3.5% down. So this is another encouraging reason why you want to consider an FHA loan. Number 3, FHA loans provide for a shorter waiting period after a bankruptcy. So we do know, and I work with clients from time to time who have filed for bankruptcy, and they want to know, hey, when can I purchase a home? So there is the ability to purchase a home after you've filed for bankruptcy, and there's a waiting period. It's shorter than it would be when you use an FHA loan versus, let's say, a conventional loan. So don't think because you filed for bankruptcy that you are not able to relatively quickly purchase a home using an FHA loan. And with everything, there are a number of criteria that will be looked at, but don't let that bankruptcy hold you back. Okay, so for those of you who have just joined, I wanted to introduce myself again. My name is Gersha Porter. I am the CEO of Porter Premier Homes. We are a real estate team here in the Baltimore metropolitan area, affiliated with Cummings and Company Realtors. And I eliminate confusion for buyers by giving them key strategies to unlock resources to buy their dream home. And as we continue to meet here every Wednesday at 5 o'clock for Wealth and Wines, a real estate experience, I hope to provide you with great information that will help move you forward to home ownership. And I'm hoping that if you are already a homeowner, you will share this information via liking the video, sharing the video, posting it on your page for some of your friends and family members who may be interested in purchasing a home. So we just have gone through 1, 2, and 3. Let's talk about reason number 4. Reason number 4, why you may want to consider an FHA loan, is that FHA loans also provide for the seller to give the buyer up to 6% of the purchase price in closing cost help. Now, who knows what that closing cost help could possibly look like? So when you are purchasing homes today, we talked earlier about a down payment. Now you have another set of expenses, and those are called closing costs. And they could run anywhere from around 3 to 6%. So we are in a really competitive market right now. We are in a seller's market. We have less inventory than buyers. So there are a lot of buyers on the market. So today, as I work with buyers, we tend not to ask for 6% in closing costs because sellers have multiple offers, and you're going to look for the offer that's going to ask them for the least amount of money so that they can make the biggest profit possible. So although the guidelines for FHA allow you to ask for 6%, typically sellers don't want to give it. So it usually runs around somewhere between 3 and 4% is what sellers are most comfortably giving you with an FHA loan. The other piece that's happening today is on most transactions, as a realtor, I am advising my clients to put that closing cost on top of their purchase price. So FHA does allow for the seller to give the buyer up to 6% closing costs back at settlement, and that helps them to move much, much closer to home ownership because the buyer has their down payment, but they may not have all of the money required for closing. So this is another great reason why you may want to purchase a home with an FHA loan, is the closing costs that the seller would be able to give the buyer. And reason number five is that the FHA loan will allow the buyer to purchase a 1 to 4 unit home and renovate your home through a specific loan called an FHA 203K loan. So has anybody here been kind of seeing some homes online, and they may have some hideous carpet, or there's wallpaper and you would love to really pull that wallpaper down and maybe drywall it and paint it, but it's in the perfect location for you. It's in a pretty good price range for you, but some of the aesthetics might be holding you back. Those are the types of homes that you may be able to use a renovation loan. It's called an FHA 203K loan. And if you're looking online, you may see that as a comment in the listing. It'll say perfect home for a renovation loan. So that is an FHA product. So once again, your down payment would only be 3.5% if you met the credit criteria, and you would be able to use a loan that allows you to borrow what you need to renovate that kitchen or replace that flooring or paint that property or put up a new fence. Okay, so definitely consider using an FHA loan if you have a property that you've put your eye on and it is in the perfect location, but it's not in the perfect condition. Now, let me back up a little bit about that 1 to 4 unit. There are a number of buyers who say, I'd like to purchase a property in which I could live in a unit and rent out the other. This is exactly what we're referring to here. So it could be a townhome that has an apartment on one level and an apartment on the next, and you may choose to live in that apartment. You can use an FHA loan to buy something like that. It could be a 3-story. We have some neighborhoods here in the Baltimore area. I'll throw some out. Reservoir Hill that has really large brownstone single family homes, and there could be 2 apartments or 3 apartments there, and you would like to live there. Those are the types of units that you could buy using an FHA loan. So those are the 5 considerations that you may want to dig deeper into if one of these scenarios best match your home buying plans. And what absolutely we would do is initially have a conversation, and then I would connect you with one of our trusted mortgage lenders who would dig deeper into your financial picture, income, your debt, any of your outstanding pieces that may be out there, whether it's a bankruptcy that's been discharged, a collection, etc., and look at your specific financial position and give you some advice of what you might want to do to best position yourself to buy in today's market. So the interest rates are still incredibly low. And if you could put a little bit down, which the FHA loan allows you to do, you may come out on top with purchasing a home in this environment. So if you would like to talk more about the steps that you need for home ownership, understanding those steps and the expectations, please schedule a house call. My calendar link is here. It'll also be on my Facebook page. And we could talk about your specific situation in your specific scenario. So if you're just hopping on, we did just go through the 5 reasons why you might want to use an FHA loan to purchase a home. I'm Gersha Porter, the CEO of Porter Premier Homes here in the Baltimore metropolitan area, working really hard to eliminate the confusion for buyers by giving them key strategies to unlock resources to buy their dream home. And I just want to remind you that Wealth and Wines Facebook Live will be here every Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Please do bring your glass of wine as I feature a special wine for you and give you a little bit of information about that one. And as we're talking about credit scores today, if some of this information made an antenna go up for you when you think about some friends and family members that you know, I am a part of the 1,000 Black Families Initiative, and this is a movement that is bringing many home buyers together with lenders who can provide loans for them when their credit score is a little less than the standard credit score. It's actually a very comprehensive program. It goes through budgeting, getting you prepared, working with a lender, and pairing you with a realtor. And if you're in the Baltimore metropolitan area, I will be your amazing realtor to help you get those keys. But if you are listening to me and you live outside of Maryland, we have an amazing crew of realtor partners that can help you too get the keys to your home through our 1,000 Black Families Initiative. So click on the link, learn a little bit more about that, or feel free to reach out to me as well. And the last thing, hopefully you did join me on one of my Facebook pages. Porter Premier Homes is my Facebook page. I do have a private community in the Own Again group, which this is streaming live there as well. Definitely like our page. We appreciate it. We'll continue to bring you some amazing information about buying homes, selling homes, all about the real estate experience. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to look real quick, see if I saw any comments to answer. I'm not seeing any right now, but I will go back and I'll reply to those as well. Once again, if you are interested in learning more about the 1,000 Black Families program, if you feel that that might be the way to get you on the road to homeownership, I'd love to talk with you more about that. And if you feel that your credit score is where it needs to be, we can get you in touch with a lender, put a plan together for you to get those keys. Thank you again. Have an amazing day. Cheers.